Hi fellow crafters, today I have another fun fold card idea to share with you, thanks to your many requests that I got last week. Today's fun fold though has a special little twist inside. I'm going to be using my Desert Details bundle and the corresponding Delicate Desert Designer Series paper. I'm excited to show you how to create this gorgeous card. Shall we get started? If this is the first time you're visiting my YouTube channel, hi, I'm Terry from nutsaboutsstamping.com. I love sharing project ideas and techniques for rubber stamping, paper crafting, and scrapbooking with you each week. Be sure to hit that red subscribe button and the bell beside it so that you'll be the first to be notified when my next video goes live. If you don't have a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator yet, I would love for you to choose me. I'll link to my online stores in the description box underneath this video. Speaking of video, be sure to watch all the way through for my bonus tips and design ideas. Now, let's get going with this fun fold. The Desert Details stamp set contains 4 messages to cheer everyone up on any occasion or just because. You can add one of the desert flowers to make your creation more beautiful, which is what we're going to do today. And the long motifs work great as borders or frames, or you can stamp them several times to create a background. And I think the dies are gorgeous. They add a lovely touch and visual interest to your projects. And we're going to be using this frame die in the bundle for today's project. You can infuse your crafting with desert serenity using the corresponding Delicate Desert Designer Series paper pack. The soft patterns have a southwestern feel with warm greens, yellows, reds, oranges, and sort of these boho style designs. One sheet even has an abstract desert sunset, and that's what we're going to be using on today's project. You can stamp on this paper, use the patterns as backgrounds, or cut them into smaller pieces for accents. And here's what the reverse side of this paper looks like. Absolutely gorgeous. Now my card base is a little bit unusual. I'm just going to use a 1/4 sheet of Calypso Coral cardstock, and to that, basically to add a little bit of strength, I'm going to add a layer of basic white, and I'm going to adhere them together using my multi-purpose liquid glue. The next thing I want to do is create one of the flower accents that I'm going to use on the front of the card, and I'm going to ink it up and stamp it down with Calypso Coral, and then I'm going to die cut it on my Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. And while I'm over there, I'm going to use 2 pieces of leftover petal pink cardstock and this border frame. So my border frame is going to be a little bit longer than the cardstock, but that won't hurt the frame and it won't hurt your cardstock or your Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. So when I die cut out this flower, using this frame, then I'm going to die cut 2 borders from petal pink. So I'll go ahead and do that, and I'll be back and show you what we do next to create this fun fold with an unusual twist. There we go. There are my 2 border pieces and my flower. I'm going to just lay them on top of the card base and move this out of the way for a minute, because now I want to show you how to make this fun fold with a twist. So as I said in the intro, I am going to use this piece of the Delicate Desert Designer Series paper, and I have cut it so that it will be slightly smaller than my card base. Now what I'm going to do is bring in my Simply Scored, and here's a tip for you. Think about the pattern that you want. Let me show you how to score it, and then you will have a better understanding of how to choose patterns for your particular card that you're going to make at home. So this is what I want to be showing as the outside of my card. So I'm going to turn this over, and I am going to take my scoring tool, and I'm going to score it at 4 inches and I'm going to score it at 8 inches. So 4 and 8. And then, I don't need my Simply Scored anymore. I'm going to fold each one of these pieces towards the center, like so. So I'm going to fold this one in, and I'm going to fold this one in, like so. Now what we're going to do is create this sort of unusual twist for the inside of the fun fold. So to create the unusual bit to this fun fold, I'm going to bring in my paper trimmer, and what I want to do is, this is going to be the top flap, this is going to be the bottom flap, so I am going to trim the bottom flap. So I'm going to turn it at an angle, and I'm going to line it up in the track, the cutting track, where the, I guess it's the point meets the cutting track. And then I'm going to line it up with the point. Let me just bring it up a little bit more. So I've got where the score line meets, and then I've got the point down below. And then what I want to do is just trim it off, like so. So I have created this diagonal, like so. So now that I have my fun fold ready to go, now it's time to bring in the pieces that I created a few minutes ago that we're going to put on the front. But before I do that, I need to create a phrase. So I have a scrap piece of basic white, and I am going to ink up the phrase that says, "Warm rays warm your heart," and I'm going to stamp it down, and I'm going to use Calypso Coral for my color choice. Now what I want to do is open up my fun fold, and I want to take this phrase and I'm going to adhere it like this on the front section of my fun fold using my multi-purpose liquid glue. And then while I'm gluing away, I want to add one of the borders above, or frames, I guess you could say, and one of the frames below, like that. So what I'll stop the video, I'll go ahead and do my gluing, my adhering, and then I'll come back and I'll show you what it looks like. All right, that is almost dry, and now what I want to do is add this little desert flower. So I put a Stampin' Dimensional on the back of it because I thought it would be nice to add a little bit of visual interest to the front of my card, fun fold card layer, I guess. Now what I want to do is flip the whole thing over, and I want to adhere this little triangle shut so that it creates a little pocket. So to do that, I'm going to use my tear and tape adhesive, and I'm going to put some adhesive down here, and I am going to put, actually that's all I'm going to do. I'm going to put some adhesive down this side so that when I close it up, this still is open so that I can slip something fun inside. Okay, it's starting to take shape here, and we're ready to go on to the next step. Would you like to see another card idea that uses the Desert Detail stamp set and the Delicate Desert Designer Series paper? Well, why not watch this video next? And what we're going to do here is I'm going to bring in my card base, and now what I want to do is adhere this fun fold layer to the card base. And to do that, because I think it's going to be opened and closed a fair bit, I'm going to turn this whole layer over, and I'm going to use my tear and tape adhesive and adhere it really firmly to my card base. So I'll go ahead and do that, and then we will talk about what to put on the inside. Now, as you can imagine, it would be very difficult to write a message on this designer series paper. Not impossible if you used a dark ink pen, but what I would suggest is something fun to tuck inside. So I have a leftover piece of petal pink, and I have some basic white that's also left over. So what I'm going to do is adhere these two together. And then we're going to tuck it like a little note card inside the pocket. And while that's drying, I decided to be a little bit cheeky, and I'm going to add another desert flower as a little visual interest detail on this layer. And then it is ready to tuck inside my card. So let's have a look at what we've got so far. So there's the fun fold with a little twist inside and a little note card that I can pull out and write on before I send it to somebody special. So let's talk embellishments now, shall we? Now in the mini catalog, these gold faceted adhesive backed sequins are part of the bundle or the whole product suite that matches perfectly with the Desert Detail stamp set and the Delicate Desert Designer Series paper. And I just love the gold accents. I'm not really much of a gold person in real life. I'm more of silver, but I think gold really pulls this whole desert motif together. So I am going to add some of the sequins to the front of my card, or maybe the inside of my card, it seems. So let's see, I'm going to add an accent there. And I think one there. And maybe a smaller one. Going to add a smaller one there. Now I could add some to the inside of my card. It really is designer's choice, but I am very happy with how my fun fold with a twist turned out, and it's now ready to send to a special person that I have in mind. If you would like a complete listing of the supplies that I use, the measurements for all of these bits and pieces, and the product ordering numbers, in case you want to order the Desert Details stamp set and matching dies, or the Coordinating Designer Series paper, I will link to my blog article in the description box underneath this video. You can click on that, head on over to my blog post, and get all the information that you need. And if you would like to see more fun fold card ideas, leave me a yes in the comment section under this video, and I will get designing another special fun fold card for you. I'm Terry. I am nuts about stamping. I hope you'll try this fun fold with a twist idea someday soon. Bye for now.